Hey guys, welcome back to Bad Talk Sports. So after we just witnessed a pretty amazing offseason, which had a lot of players moving to different teams, we now have a pretty good idea on what the roster will be like next season. And because of that, over the next few weeks, I will be ranking the top 10 players in each position for the upcoming 2021-2022 NBA season. So with this video, we're going to start by ranking the top 10 point guards going into next season. But before we start though, please smash that like button as it really helps out the channel. So, without further ado, let's begin. Starting off the list at number 10, we have Russell Westbrook. So Westbrook is one of the most polarizing players in the entire league. Now there are some people who absolutely love Russ, and there are some others who hate his playstyle. So putting him at 10 might seem like too high for some people, but too low for others. But I think that with every season since his 2017 MVP campaign, it's been about the same story. Starting off the season a bit slow, then picking it up midway through the season, then turning into an absolute beast towards the end of the season in order to reel his team back into the playoffs, then completely underperforming in the postseason. So that's basically Russ's career over the past few seasons. So even though he still puts up monstrous numbers in the regular season and continues to average a triple-double and leading the league in assists, I think that his time as being one of the most dominant point guards is over. But he will be playing with LeBron and AD as the third option next season, so let's see if Russ can adapt his game and finally win a championship. Now at number 9, we have Ben Simmons. Now where do I even begin with Simmons? I mean, the obvious problem is that he still doesn't have a three-pointer in his repertoire. Oh wait, actually he doesn't even have a mid-range shot in his arsenal, let alone threes. And that problem has been haunting him ever since he was a rookie. But it seems like Ben has steadily gotten worse every single season of his pro career. And this year he put up his lowest points, rebounds, and assists of his career, averaging just 14.3 points, 7.2 rebounds, and 6.9 assists. But the reason I can't put Simmons any higher than 9th is because of his terrible playoff performance, especially against the Hawks, where he averaged less than 10 points per game, shooting about 33% from the free throw line. And it was because of his play that the Sixers couldn't make it to the conference finals. And recently, there have been some reports on Simmons not talking to his teammates anymore, which is definitely not a good sign, but maybe he will get traded somewhere where he can regain his confidence. But after bashing him, I do have to at least say some good things about his game. Now firstly, he has been one of the best defenders in the league over the past few seasons now, and he showed last season that he has the ability to guard 1 through 5. And obviously his elite passing deserves a praise, but without a lethal offensive game, it's going to be hard for him to find open shots for his teammates. So let's just hope he at least attempts shots next season. Oh, and I'm not going to be fooled by those off-season workout videos anymore. Until he can shoot those type of shots during the game, I can't trust those videos. At number 8, Ja Morant. So Ja has been rising rapidly as one of the league's top point guards, and after his impressive sophomore campaign, I think that he's firmly amongst the top 10 point guards in the league now. During the regular season, he averaged 19.1 points, 3.1 rebounds, and 7.4 assists per game, which is a solid improvement from his rookie year. But what really excites me about Ja's career going forward is his playoff performance. Now, after eliminating Steph Curry and the Golden State Warriors in the play-in tournament, he continued that momentum into the first round of the playoffs. Now, even though they lost in 5 games to the first-seeded Utah Jazz, we still have to give it out to Morant as he played amazingly. He averaged over 30 points per game in that series and even had a 47.7 assist performance in Game 2. But what he's going to have to improve on next season is getting a more consistent and reliable outside jump shot. And if he does that, I think that Morant will take another leap into being an all-star next season. At number 7, we have Jrue Holiday. For years now, Jrue has been one of the most underrated players in the league, as he has been on some pretty subpar teams while being a great scorer and amazing defender without getting the proper recognition. But this past season, when the Bucks were missing that one piece to make them a championship caliber team, it turned out that Jrue Holiday was that missing piece, as he was a pivotal part of Milwaukee's journey to win the championship. as in the regular season, he averaged about 17 points and 6 assists per game while shooting about 50% from the field and 40% from behind the arc. But where he really showed his value is during the playoffs. Now, even though his scoring wasn't really that consistent and had a lot of bad shooting nights, he did just enough to relieve the pressure off of Giannis and Chris Middleton. But what he did amazingly for them during the postseason run is showing off his elite defense, as he was able to clamp up almost everyone that he was assigned to. And we can't forget his clutch steal and alley-oop to Giannis during Game 5 of the finals, so he definitely deserves the recognition now that he is a champion. At number 6, the point guard himself, Chris Paul. Now, when Chris Paul signed that 4-year, $160 million contract with the Rockets during the summer of 2018, a lot of people thought that it was a stupid decision by the Rockets, as they were paying a 32-year-old aging veteran point guard about $40 million a year. But after CP3 was traded to OKC for Russell Westbrook, he proved to everyone that he is still the point god, as he led that young Thunder team to the playoffs. But when he decided to leave that team and join the Suns, many of us thought that it was a strange decision, because at this stage of his career, we thought that he would join a championship contender, but instead, he joined one of the youngest teams in the league and made them a championship team. But they just fell short as they lost to the Bucks in 6 games. But Paul did sign another extension with the Suns, so we'll see if he can get back to the finals. At number 5, Kyrie Irving. Now, Kyrie had a pretty weird season this year, as he did miss quite a few games this season due to what he calls personal reasons. But all that stuff aside, I think Kyrie had a pretty underrated season overall. Well, maybe because he was injured during the most crucial part of the postseason. But in the regular season, he was amazing, as he averaged about 27 points and 6 assists, while becoming one of only 9 players in NBA history to average over 50% from the field, 40% from 3, and 90% from the free throw line, joining an exclusive 50-40-90 club. And he was a part of the league's deadliest big three with Durant and Harden. And if he wasn't injured against the Bucks, they would have definitely gone on to win the championship. But injuries are a part of the game, so we'll see if he can stay healthy next season. And if he does, I think the Nets will be the 2022 NBA champions. Moving on to number 4, we have Trae Young. Now, 2 seasons ago, many people viewed Ice Trae as a dude that just puts up empty stats on a bad team and doesn't play defense, so that was his reputation coming into last season, and he was disrespected because of it. So despite him averaging about 25 points and 9 assists per game on solid shooting splits, he wasn't even selected to be in the All-Star game. And I think that Trae definitely took that personally, as he showed everyone in the playoffs this season that he belongs amongst the top point guards in the league, as he led his Hawks team past New York and Philly to make it all the way to the Eastern Conference Finals, where an unfortunate ankle injury caused him to miss 2 games and they eventually lost that series. But despite that, I believe that Ice Trae has shown that he can be the number 1 option on a championship caliber team, so the Hawks have a really bright future. At number 3, we have Damian Lillard. Now, we know that Dame is one of the best shooters and one of the clutchest players in the league, but just how clutch is he? Now, among players with at least 75 field goal attempts in what the NBA deems to be clutch situations, when there are fewer than 5 minutes remaining and the score is within 5 points, Dame led the entire league in clutch field goal percentage at 51.1%. But once again, Dame had an early playoff exit, but that is absolutely not his fault, as the Blazers once again failed to surround him with enough talent. So I think that for the betterment of his career, that he should request a trade, and I did make a video about possible Dame trades, which you guys should definitely check out, but it looks like he is staying in Portland for now, until the team fails him again. At number 2, we have Luka Doncic. At just 22 years old, Luka is already amongst the best players in the league, and he might be the best 22-year-old we've ever seen, as in the regular season, he put up averages of about 28 points, 8 rebounds, and 8 assists, but they once again had an early playoff exit. But it would be foolish to place the blame on Doncic, as he did everything he could to try to win, but he had no second star on the team to help him relieve some of the pressure. as he led the league in usage percentage in the playoffs at over 40%. Now that's a prime Westbrook usage percentage. So if Dallas manages to pair up Luka with another star to relieve some of the ball handling duties, we might be in for a historic season by the Wonder Boy. Now before we get to the number 1 spot, here are some honorable mentions that just missed the cut, and those players are De'Aaron Fox, LaMelo Ball, Jamal Murray, and Mike Conley. Finally at number 1, we have Stephen Curry. I mean, was there really any question on who would be number 1 on this list? Curry is the best shooter and arguably the best point guard in NBA history. And this season just proves it again, that even though they lost to Memphis in the play-in tournament, thus missing the playoffs, I'm gonna cut him some slack because he was really the only offensive threat on that team. And he managed to rank 2nd in MVP voting and winning the scoring title. So there was really no way that Curry wasn't gonna be number 1. But I would really love to see Steph win another championship in his career though. So maybe next season with Klay coming back, they will be in contention for the Larry O'Brien trophy again. So that's my list for the top 10 point guards going into next season. Now this video definitely turned out longer than I expected, but do let me know in the comment section down below your opinions on this list, and definitely stay tuned for the other position rankings coming out over the next few weeks. So with that being said, thank you guys very much for watching this video. We are pushing for 5,000 subscribers in 2021. So if you guys liked it, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications as I upload new videos every single week. And thanks for watching.